What's going on, YouTube? Today is the 21st of May 2026, and welcome back to another trade recap. Before we dive into this, I just want to address something just in case they are watching. So the other day, a couple of my friends watched the trade recap, and shout out to them, by the way, because they don't even trade. They were just showing love. So yeah, shout out to them. But they did say, "What the fuck is this? What am I wearing?" And they told me never to wear it again. At the time, I agreed with them. I said, you know what? You're probably right. I probably shouldn't wear that. But since then, I've had second thoughts. I'm in my house. I'm warm. I'm comfy. And I'm just doing a trade recap. And simply, I don't care. So if you don't like it, don't look at me. It'll probably suit me better that way anyway. So keep your eyes on the trade recap and not me. But yeah, I just wanted to address that before we jumped into it. But seriously, though, shout out to them for showing love to the channel because, like I say, they didn't even trade. And while I'm shouting people out, shout out to my mate who passed his funded yesterday. I won't mention his name. He's not a big one for online, so I don't know how much he'd appreciate that. But he knows who he is. Shout out! He passed his first. Actually, no, it's not his first. He passed his second account yesterday. He has passed one before, um, but I think this time, he's going to go on and get that payout. I know he will. So shout out to him. My other friend as well. He's new into trading. He's on the brink of passing a eval as well. So shout out to him too, because I know they're watching and showing love. Also, so. Anyway, that's that. Let's jump into the trade for today. So, as you can see by the title, we took a loss on the 3 accounts. We took 2 trades today. I am actually going to put that in the title, so you will also see that as well. We took a loss and a break-even trade today. Across the 3 accounts, we lost $1,904. It was roughly works out about 650, I think, per account. Let's go and have a quick look. Yeah, 650 there on the account. If we click into it, you can see that we had the loss there and the break-even trade here. So yeah, you can see that. So that just shows what I was saying. But I will go through the trades. I've left it on the hourly just so you can't see my entry just yet. Just because before I do, I just want to quickly explain. I took a long, and then I took a short. Now I can't remember the last time I did that. But there was reasons behind both trades. I'm not mad at the loss, and I'm not mad at the break even. Both had reasons behind them for me, and I stand by it. So yeah, let's go into them now. What was I seeing coming into session today? Obviously, to me, we were looking bullish. We'd obviously made this move up. We'd broke structure here. We'd retraced. We tested this gap here, so we'd respected this level. We were also respecting 4 hours bullish price action. We then made another move back up again, broke structure on the hour, retraced, and we moved back up. And then obviously during Asia, we went a bit higher, and then London we retraced. Now, what I wanted to see during market open, I wanted to see Asia get swept out for sure. This hourly would have been nice to have been swept because I didn't see price action ever come in down to this level. Certainly not today anyway. So, like I say, Asia was a big draw for me to get swept out early doors and then obviously move on to this hourly and hopefully that would have got swept out. The same on ES, so ES respecting bullish order flow, respected this gap here, respected this gap here. So yeah, it was to me looking like a very much a day for taking longs. So yeah, the only concern for me was obviously we had this hourly gap that was formed during London, and you'll see within that we also had this 15-minute gap here, and we also had the 5-minute gap as well. So we had to get through a lot. Now this blue line that you can see here, I marked out on both ES and NQ. So what that was just hourly equilibrium. So we had the highest point of this move here, down to the low of this candle here. And as you can see, that blue line is at equilibrium. Now, the reason I marked that out is because within that gap, I was always aware that price could have reversed off of that. Sorry. So we had obviously that hourly range where price could have moved into and not gone straight through. We also had equilibrium. And it was always just a level that I was sort of slightly hesitant about going into today. So I did mark it out. It's not something I do every day or every session, but today I did it just because I was cautious about it. And I always knew in the back of my mind that if I did take a long, price could have reversed off that. So I'd already accepted that risk before I'd even taken a trade that could happen. But given the bullish, trends that we were in going into session, I thought, we could move smoothly through that and take out London highs, take out, these hourly highs here, at this hourly high marked here as well. So, we had quite a lot to work with that I had marked out. Now, let's go on to NQ because that's what we took the trade on. Now, if we go on to let's go on to the 15-minute for now. So obviously you can see my two trades there, one long, one short. We'll go down and break into those in a moment. Now, coming into session, in fact, I'm going to go to the 5-minute because I think I was predominantly looking at the 5-minute today anyway. Right, so on NQ, we'd moved down. We'd swept out London. Obviously, we did that just pre-market anyway. We swept out London, but we didn't take out Asia. Now, on ES, we did take out London and we did take out Asia. Again, ideally, I would have liked this hourly low to be taken out, but it wasn't. So we did create that small SMT there. Now, with there being pretty much relatively equal, I wasn't 100% on it, but price started to move in a way which I liked. Now, let me show you this. So obviously we broke structure on the 5-minute here, and we broke structure on this candle here, moved above this high. Let me just mark that in red. Yeah, so we moved above that high there on the 5-minute. On the 3-minute, because there was no fair value gap to fill on the 5. So obviously this candle here moved down into this range, which obviously you can see I had that range marked out. I'll show you why in a moment. Obviously the 5-minute went too low to leave a gap, so I went to the next best one, and we went to the 3-minute. Obviously at this point here you can see that we've got this 3-minute gap to work with. Now I marked this out. We had a 5-minute break of structure above this candle here, so the 5-minute candle closed above that recent high. We also had the S&T to work with, and then with that, price retraced on the 3-minute, tapped into this gap here, and then began to move higher. So, like I say, I was very, very hesitant about this gap here because we were in a 15-minute gap, which price could have respected. We also had equilibrium here, and then also we had the 5-minute and also that hourly gap. So, it was a big range where price could have reversed off of it, and I was always sort of aware of that. But to me, I'd already accepted that coming into market. I mean, this was not far off what I wanted coming into session, apart from I would have obviously preferred Asia to be swept on NQ as well as ES, and then obviously that hourly here I would have preferred to at least take it on one of them, maybe not both, but like I say, I had already accepted this. Now anyway, where did we go from this 3-minute gap here being respected? We obviously went down to the 1-minute and looked for our confirmation out of that to show price could go up. I'm just going to remove that for now, just because I don't want it in the way. Now, obviously so we tapped into this gap here. It was also a 1 minute gap that we were respecting. So when I came onto the 1 minute, saw that as well. We'd respected not once but twice, moved into this gap, then moved higher, and then we broke above this candle here, which I wanted to see. And of course, you can see that was my entry right there on that candle. We moved into equilibrium, literally the very next candle, and you can see price just reversed on me. Something I was aware of, but there was confirmation behind it for me. There was a reason to take the trade. My risk was good. 650 on 100k account isn't bad. I'm happy to take anywhere up to $800 per day risk. Usually, obviously, I only trade the once, but today we did take another trade. Now, you're probably going to be thinking, why did you take a long then a short? It wasn't, just a blind stab in the dark to try and get profits back at all. That's not what it was. Hopefully that gives me, I hope it gives it me back. Where's it gone? Is that not giving me back? I want my, where's that gone? Let me try and get this back. No, still not back. If not, we might have to just draw it on ourselves. No, doesn't look like it's going back. Anyway, I'm gonna have to try and remember where this was. I regret taking off now. Bear with me 1 second. That's no good. Actually, no, it's fine. I know where it is. Don't worry. It's a good job we have this line here. There we go. Hang on a minute. Was that what I took? I don't think it was. No, it wasn't. That line was something else. I think it was something like that. Let's just go with that because I think it was something like that. Anyway, why did I? The main thing is why did I take this trade? Let's get into that. It doesn't really matter where that was. It was something like that anyway. Now, obviously, like I said to you, I always knew there was a chance that we could respect the 5 minute gap, the 15 minute gap, that hourly gap, and also equilibrium. Equilibrium, I actually believe, is one of my strongest confluences in terms of it's a very respectable confluence for me. And when you pair it with a gap like we had today, that 5 minute, 15 minute, and hourly gap, it tapped into equilibrium and then straight away showed signs of reversal. Now, let me get rid of some of these because we obviously made this move down. We created another low here. So yes, we swept Asia at this point. We created a low here that was close to this low that I had marked out the hourly low anyway. We then had this 5 minute gap that we moved up into. So we had that 5 minute gap that we moved up into. We obviously respected that. So now we've respected bullish order flow here. We've respected equilibrium. We've tapped into it, moved down. We've broke structure. We've created this gap. We've then moved into it, respected it. So what did I want to see out of that just to try and, pretty much go break even? I think this would have, on this trade, I had, I think, $140 risk on it. I had 2 contracts. On the first one, I had 4 contracts. On this one, I had 2. So yeah, it's probably about right actually if you're looking at the ticks. Yeah. So I had 4 contracts here, 2 contracts here. It was about $140 risk. Now, I just want to throw a disclaimer out there. If I'd have used $800 risk on this trade here, I would not have taken this trade. But because my rules allow me to take $800 worth of risk per day, I was happy to take this trade. In fact, it was there. I remember now. Yeah, it was that candle there. Now, because my rules allow me to, yeah, like I say, risk $800 per day, I was happy to risk that additional 140. This, if it had hit TP here, it wouldn't have clawed back everything. I think it was 450, I want to say. So I still would have been 156.50. Quick maths. What's that? 200. Am I being stupid? I actually don't. Yeah. Yeah, it is 200. Is it 200? Why is my brain going absolutely mad? It is 200, isn't it? Sorry about that. As you can tell, maths isn't my strong point. Anyway, so about $200, we would have been short for the day, which obviously wouldn't have been bad. Now, this red line here, I was going to be very, very strict with this trade in terms of, yes, I took another trade, but I was going to break even as quick as possible. So we entered on this inversion of this gap here. So we made a move up. We inversed that little um, 1 minute fair value gap there. We entered. I did move it up here because I wanted my. I took it on a limit order, I think. So yeah, I wanted price to come back up, tap me in. It did, and then we obviously win the trade. Now this low here, once we broke structure, I moved my stop straight to break even. So we had not much wiggle room to work back with, but for me, if price reversed off here, it wasn't not going to hit take profit. It wasn't what I thought, but I just didn't want to be in the trade any longer than I needed to. Yes, I was already taking another trade. I knew I was, putting more risk on, but I just wanted it to be as risk free as possible. And just, I thought it was worth a shot. The confluences were there, the confluences were strong. And if it broke structure here, I wanted to see price move smoothly through this and just sweep this low and then obviously take this hourly low here. So obviously, as you can see, we broke structure here. So I keep pausing because I'm trying to remember if that was actually my trade. It was something like that, but I definitely know that on this candle here, we broke structure and we moved our stops to break even. So yeah, we weren't in the trade too long. We moved down here. I think we got to about, I think that was maybe like $300 in profit. And then we moved and it hit my break even and we were, out of the trade. And yeah, price didn't hit my take profit anyway, so I wouldn't have won. I think it was definitely the right decision to make it to break even. And yeah, those were my two trades that I took today. So one loss, one break even on the accounts. So I'll put the account balance in now. And as you can see, they're fresh 100k accounts, so we can obviously try and work towards that payout. But yeah, it's just a loss. It was still massively up on the week, and I think that's what you've got to look at it as. You've got to look at it. Are you up on the week? Are you up on the month? If you are, great. Today was just, price didn't move the way we wanted it to. We had reasons behind both trades. We took them with confidence, and I think they're the positives to take away from it. The lessons that I've learned is, next time, pay attention to these gaps a bit more, wait, be a bit more patient on equilibrium, maybe wait for a reaction off there. Could these low have been swept or, even used as a target off of equilibrium? So could have our first trade maybe have been up here. There's a lot of, things we can take from today. And if this situation occurs again, we can obviously be better equipped for it. But for the time being, I'm not mad at the two trades I took today. Like I said previously, losses are completely normal. Tomorrow is a new day, so we've got one more trading day of the week. Tomorrow being Friday. So you can see here that we've got again. This is showing one day behind. Today is Thursday the 21st. tomorrow we've got Friday, and yeah, we'll just see how that goes. We'll go again. If a trade presents itself, we'll execute with confidence as always, and we'll just stick to the plan, stick to the process, and be patient, and we'll see what it brings. So yeah, we're not going to get too ahead of ourselves. We're not going to get too down on ourselves or too hard. We're just going to keep it moving, and yeah, go from there. So this video is probably going to be a bit longer than I want it to be. I'm trying to keep them around sort of 10 to 15 minutes. I have a feeling, without looking, this is probably going to be around 20. But we did have 2 trades to go through. So if you did make it all the way through the video, thank you for watching. And yeah, thanks for having a little bit of patience, because I know there was bits in that which weren't too fluent, but this bit, when I ended up losing that, was just confusing me a little bit. But yeah, thanks for working with me. And yeah, if you traded today, let me know if you took a win. Did you make money? Did you take a loss? Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, we will hopefully be back tomorrow with another video. Please like, subscribe, comment, do whatever. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you.